डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Hello students, this is Disha Parekh from Indus University Ahmedabad has got an opportunity to deliver today a lecture on software engineering. I'll be dealing with the subject software engineering for BCA 403 and today we'll be seeing Unit 1. Unit 1 is about Introduction to Software Project Management. At the end of this unit, you'll be able to learn software project management, software development process, prototyping mechanism, risk analysis and measurement, and basics of extreme programming. So let us start with Unit 1, starting with the what is a project. So before we start with what is a project, let me be very clear that project is something that you undergo after your completion of maybe BCA or MCA. એક એવી વસ્તુ છે કે જેને આપણે BCA અથવા MCA પછી આપણે કહીએ છીએ કે પ્રોજેક્ટ ડેવલપમેન્ટમાં હું જવાનું, right? So that is a project. Now let us see an exact definition of project. What is a project? A project, which is also known as a task, is a collection of several operations done in order to achieve a goal, which could be in terms of software development and delivery, right? So if I want to deliver some software, I want to develop it and then I'll be delivering that software, then I have a goal, I have an objective for that, and we call that as a project, and this entire phenomenon is also called as a task. Now, a project is characterized as project having first unique and distinct goal. You would be having a unique goal and a distinct goal in order to develop a project, right? Then we have no routine activity or day-to-day operations. It is not going to be your routine activity or any day-to-day operations, all right? Then start time and end time. A project always has a start time and an end time. You cannot directly start with the project development and you cannot abruptly end it whenever you want. એટલે તમારે એક સ્ટાર્ટ ટાઈમે ફિક્સ હશે અને એક એન્ડ ટાઈમે ફિક્સ્ડ હશે. વિધિન દેટ ટાઈમ લાઈન ઓનલી યુ હેવ ટુ ડેવલપ યોર પ્રોજેક્ટ. Then goal achieved which serve as temporary phase in lifetime of an organization. So this particular project will help you to achieve a goal, all right? A particular project development that you are going to do will help you to achieve some goal, and this is going to remain for lifetime for an organization. Adequate resources in terms of time, manpower, finance, material and knowledge bank. So in order to develop a project, you need adequate resources. Now what are these resources? These resources can be anything. It can be a computer system starting with the servers and all, the network connectivity and all. Apart from that, it even includes the manpower, all right? So manpower is also coming under the resources, all right? Then timeline. Okay, in order to develop a project, I said we need a start time and an end time, right? So that includes that we of course have to be very timely. Finance, material and knowledge bank. Because I am supposed to develop some project, of course a project cannot be developed without any cost, right? So for that I need of course finance, I need material and I need a knowledge bank. Knowledge bank means we, the software engineers who have knowledge, have to develop a software, how to produce a better result out of that project, all right, and how to deliver it. Next is 1.2, that is software project management. Usually we refer this as SPM in short. So it is software project management. A software project is the complete procedure of software development from requirement gathering to testing and maintenance, all right, which is carried out according to the execution methodologies in a specified period of time to achieve intended software product. So to be in a very layman language, software project is a complete procedure કે જ્યાંથી તમે સોફ્ટવેરનું ડેવલપમેન્ટ ચાલુ કરશો, એનું ટેસ્ટિંગ કરશો, એને કોડિંગ કરીને પાછું ફરીથી ડિઝાઇનિંગ ટેસ્ટિંગ ફરીથી કરશો અને છેલ્લે જ્યારે તમે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરવાના હશો બરાબર, તો ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કર્યા બાદ જો કોઈ એમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ આવે, ઇફ યુ એન્કાઉન્ટર એની પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ ઓર ધી પાર્ટી ફોર whom you are developing this project encounters any problem with it, we are supposed to provide them with maintenance facility. Alright, all this is carried out, and this exactly the entire execution methodology is referred as software project management, which is called as SPM. The goal of SPM is to deliver software on time and on budget, inclusive of, I am saying on time and on budget, in that particular budget only. Why so? Because on time means we say that we have a start time and an end time fixed. Within that time frame only we are supposed to deliver our project, so it is going to be very timely, so it is software on time. And I am saying on budget, we said that we will be having finance also included, right? So that finance is nothing but the cost that is incurred in the software project development. So we need to see that how much budget is there, and within that budget only we are supposed to complete this software project. So the goal of SPM is to deliver software on time, and which includes better understanding, because when I am developing some project, I am developing some software, I need to understand it very, very thoroughly. Alright. Then next is plan. Now how to plan it? Plan is nothing but the cost estimation that we do, that this much cost will be incurred, time estimation that we do, that my project will be starting with this timeline within this month, and I will be completing with the next month, or maybe the next after the other month. Alright. So that is planning. Then measure. Now what is measure? Measure is in terms of, if I am developing some project, I am developing some software, for example XYZ customer is there, I am developing a project for him. Now that measure will tell me that whether I have achieved all the requirements that my particular customers needed. Alright. Secondly, I will be measuring that if I am coming into the same timeline. If yes, then I am going with a particular timeline, I'm very much particular with my software project development. Alright. But if I'm lagging behind, I'm lagging in time, ટાઈમ જે આપ્યો છે એનાથી પાછળની સાઈડ હું વર્ક કરું છું, આગળ નથી કામ કરી શકતી, તો there is a problem in the measurement. So this is measure, and then control the project. Of course, when I have developed a project, I need to control my project. Control is nothing but all about the maintenance. Alright. So I need to control the project. Now let us see the next slide. Importance of SPM. Now what is importance of SPM? Why do we need software project management? It is difficult to predict timeliness and budget of the software. So very foremost thing I said is time, start time and end time. So that falls into timeliness, and I said that there is a finance incurred in software project management. So I need a budget. So if I want to track my time for my project development, and I want to track down whatever cost is incurred in project development, I need timeliness and budget of the software, and this can be achieved only if I have SPM. Correct? Next, failure or success of the project depends on SPM. Whether my SPM, my project that I am developing, would fail or it would survive. Alright. If it is failing, then also it depends on the SPM, it would have been a poor SPM. If it is a success, that means of course we have done SPM very, very particularly, we have been timely, and we were on our budget. Then work without management turns out to be a scrap, and one has to rework, resulting in immature process. Now if you think that what is immature process, what is management, let me give an example. For example, when you turn up to your college or your university, and you are supposed to reach your university at 9 a.m. in the morning, sharp at 9 a.m. in the morning, then you would be putting alarm in the night. Maybe you would wake up at 6:30, then you would do your all primary activities, you will take your bath, you will have your breakfast, you will have your tea, whatsoever, alright. After which you will start from your home maybe at 8:30 in order to reach here sharp at 9 a.m. if it is half an hour of route. Alright. So all this whatever you decided was in the night time, and then you followed that methodologically, then this is called as management. So when I want to develop a project, then also I require to manage that thing, all right, because without management we cannot do it. So anything without management is simply a scrap, and then you will be expected to do rework and rework. So in order to avoid that rework, we have management. So for a software project development, I need SPM, which is very essential. After seeing the importance of SPM, now let us see what is a history of project management. Now this history is, I have done it according to century, all right. So let us start with 18th century. Now software project management would have not been coined as SPM, or there was nothing like computers were there, but probably that terminology for software project was not coined during 18th century, but 18th century did have management. Now what all management was there? First was resource management. People used to manage their resources very well. Now resources are nothing but, you know, if you have a kettle, right, kettles are your resources. You have manpower are your resources, but you used to manage them simultaneously. It was during 18th century, of course, they used to manage the resources. Then scheduled maintenance were there. People used to wake up so early. They used to, you know, sleep very early in the evening, all right. They used to have their lunch and dinner early in the times, right, and this is what is called as scheduled maintenance. They had that scheduled maintenance. They used to coordinate with different tasks. One person used to do so many tasks, all right, and to do many more such tasks, of course, you need to manage yourself. Then it does not exclude one thing, that is schedule optimization, all right. I said there is a schedule maintenance. Now what is optimization? Okay, now optimization is nothing but when I am maintaining something, and if I manage that time optimally, optimally means giving one, if I have two tasks, task 1 is important and task 2 is less important, then I would give more time to my task 2 because it is important. Task 1, which is less important, I would not give much time to it. All right, so that is optimization. So people used to, you know, not have scheduled optimization because that time they did not have anything called as, you know, scheduled techniques wherein they would divide their time, you know, optimally, with maybe task 1 allocating 1 hour, task 2 allocating 2 hours, and task 3 allocating 3 hours. All right, they did not have it optimally. All right, so scheduled optimization was excluded. Now let us see what is project management in the 19th century. All right, it included structure and construction. Now from 19th century there came, you know, a possibility of all the construction sites and all. They were so much into construction. All right, so they started making their own structures, their own construction. Now in order to, for example, તમારામાંથી કોઈના ફાધર કે કોઈ બિલ્ડિંગ ઓલામાં હોય કે કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન સાઇટ કન્સ્ટ્રક્શનમાં હોય, રાઈટ, તો they would be knowing કે for construction you need proper management. Alright, તમે એક જ વારમાં કઈ ઇમારત ખડી ના કરી શકો, ઊભી ના કરી શકો, right? So for that I need structure and construction, so I need a management for that. Then manufacturing. In 19th century people started manufacturing their own products, so manufacturing also included management. Transportation sectors. Now people, because they started manufacturing the products, they were, you know, selling out their product from one place to another place and maybe then the third place. So to move my product from one place to another place, of course I need transportation. So transportation sectors were also there. Example is creation of transcontinental roads. Transcontinental means from one continent to the another continent, right, and within the continent also, and corduroy roads, all right, for transportation. So all this comes under history of project management. Now again, history of project management we saw for 18th century, we saw for 19th century. Now 19th century I have further divided it into 1900 to 1950. This particular era is called as birth of modern era. All right, birth of modern project management and Henry Gantt. Now who is Henry Gantt? Henry Gantt mind blowing. He was a person who invented, he is also known as a founding father of modern project management, and he is the one who invented the Gantt chart. All right, now what is Gantt chart? Gantt chart is a timeline chart. All right, it is a bar form of chart wherein this bar chart is there to show the timeliness of your project. All right, so in from 1900 to 1950, which is the birth of modern project management, and a person who was Henry Gantt, who is a founding father of modern project management, developed a Gantt chart to ensure monitoring and control of the project schedule. So he was the one who monitored and controlled the project schedule with the help of bar charts. All right. Next, from 1950 to 1980s, we had two techniques, which one right now is outdated a bit. We had two techniques called as PERT and CPM, and PERT and CPM were introduced in era 1950 to 1980. Let us see what is PERT. PERT, usually known as Program Evaluation Review Technique. I am saying Program Evaluation Review Technique. Now what is program? Program is of course our whatsoever we do, processing, methodology, anything is a program. Evaluation means to analyze, right? We evaluate. For example, when you are appearing for test, your test papers are evaluated by your faculty, right? Review, once those test papers are evaluated, they a particular faculty would give a review on it, whether this project, whether your paper was good, whether your test paper was okay, right? So that is review. And a technique. So program evaluation review technique analyzes individual tasks by asserting a minimum amount of time for completion. So there is a minimum amount of time for completion, and all this is analyzed for an individual task by a particular person with a minimum amount of time for its completion. That is called as PERT. Now second is CPM. CPM, usually known as critical path method. All right, factored in all activities, the completion time of such activities and how they relate to identify the inefficiencies. Now what does it do is, it is factored for all the activities together. All right, and it checks for one activity, yes, this is the completion time. For the second activity, yes, this is the completion time. For third activity, yes, this is the completion time. Out of all these three activities, it will identify that which is more inefficient and which one is more efficient. So that is critical path method. All right. Both of this you would be seeing in one of your subject called as operation research. All right, PERT and CPM methods. Then project management in 1980 to 2000, it is also known as computers and project management, because probably, not probably, but for sure, this computers got much into demand and were in much limelight from 1980, and of course we all know that 1990 was an internet era, right? So if I see to this, computer connectivity and communication of two different computers, two or more than two computers started in 1980s, all right, and internet era started in 1990s. So both of this, as well as era of computers and project management, as said, it is known as era of computers and project management, also commenced between 1980 to 2000, all right. Then project management in 2000 till today. If we see till today, we have rise of automation and maturity of efficiency. This particular is known as rise of automation and maturity of efficiency. Now, what is automation? Now, if you see that today, if I want to put some data in Excel sheet, I put one formula, it gets automatically done, all right, and if I drag that particular cell throughout wherever till whatever things I want, it is automatically calculated for that particular column, right? And of course rows also. So if you see, there is a rise of automation. Now everything today is automatic. You go to an airport, when you want to wash your hands, you just put your hand there and you will be seeing that water comes out of it automatically, correct? So there everything today is going to be automated. So rise of automation is there, and maturity of efficiency. Now what is maturity of efficiency? It says that whatever products today we have, softwares that we have are very efficient. We do not find any flaws into that software. Just check, anything that we do is a web based project management application. Now any application you would be running would be on computer. Any application that you would run on your computer would also be there on your mobile devices, alright. So all these applications, which we generally term as web based project management applications or web based applications, alright, are there for your PC, are there for your mobile phones also, alright, and a wide scale ERP systems are also involved in it, right. So this was a basic history, right, of software project management starting from the 18th century to 19th century to 1900 to 1950, 1950 to 1980, 1980 to 2000 and 2000 to till date, right. So now next topic for the same unit is process based management, right, generally referred as PBMS, called as process based management system. Now what is process based management system? If you think logically, process, we know what is a process. A process is a task, right? Based management, we know what is management, right? If I want to manage some task, if I want to perform some task, I manage it. I need to go through the timeline, I need to see its budget, I need to estimate the cost, I need to work accordingly, I need a manpower, I need other resources. All this comes under management, all right. And system is nothing but a particular whole technique, right. So process based management system is based on simple fundamental ideas. Now what are those ideas? Let us have a look at it. First is understanding business processes and requirements to achieve it. Now what is business process? What are its requirements? How to achieve it? Let us understand. What are business processes? Now my business process, if you see, everybody has their own process. For example, if you want to, if you come to college, the college process is different. If you go to your tuition classes, maybe the process there is something different. If you go to maybe a guitar class, the process there is something different, all right. So understand the business process and requirements to achieve it. Now what is the requirement? For example, if you are going to guitar class, you cannot go with your bag, okay, and your laptop. No, there you will be requiring your guitar, correct. So that is there. Then second, manage their delivery. Now what is manage their delivery? If I have something, I am building something, I am processing something, and I have requirements to achieve that, then I of course have to manage the delivery also, because I am building some software, I need to deliver it to some customer, then that particular delivery should happen on a particular time only. So manage their delivery. Then monitor their actual performance against these set targets. You would have set some target. For example, when you are appearing for your exam, if you are very thorough with some subject, you would say that in this subject I will score 80 marks. And when actually the result turns up, you would have scored maybe less, maybe 78 or maybe more than 80. Then that is called as actual performance against the set targets, or your actual performance is less, that is 78 or maybe 80. Okay. So I was telling is monitor their actual performance against set targets, right. So we will be monitoring the actual performance against our set target, as given the example of your marks, right. Then next is, and then improve both the processes themselves and their performance over the time. For example, if you got less marks in those in a particular subject that you thought is really good for you, right, and you are very well versed with that subject, then in that case you did not achieve your marks up to that level, right. So you would work hard, you would try to perform much more better, in a better way in the other exam, right. So that is improve both the processes themselves and their performance over time. So you will have to work more, all right. Then what is aim of this PBMS? What we say is process based management system. Aim is to meet our business objectives. Everything that comes is because of goals and certain objectives, right? And to meet these objectives we need process based management. Objective of what? Of constructing our software, right? Now let us see one small cycle which is called as business process cycle, which is very easy. All right, if you would be seeing, this is a cycle. Let me zoom it. All right, this is stakeholder requirements or customer requirements. Of course I have to gain some requirements from the users for whom I'm going to build my software. All right, so okay, so this is a stakeholder requirement. A person would be giving you the requirement, so there is a customer requirement. Then define and prioritize objectives. All right, I have to define my objectives. I said everything is because of some goal and because of some objectives, right? So I need to define my objectives, I need to prioritize my objectives, after which now I have to define the processes to deliver these objectives. The objectives that you would have defined, all right, based on the customer requirements are now to be delivered, and to deliver that I need to define my process. All right, so define processes to deliver that objectives. Then identify process measurements. All right, identify that how much my process is going to take, how much long it is going to run, what is its cost estimation. All right, if I have started within a month, I should complete this much of process, within the next month I should complete this much of process. All right, so identify the process measurements. Then create management information system. You need, of course I said without management everything is a scrap, you need to rework, right? So create your management information system, that is we generally refer it as MIS. All right, I have to gather some information. The informations that I gather from customers, the informations that I gather from my project developers and everything need to be channelized, and that is called as creating management information system. Then report on progress to meet the objective. What it says is, I would have started development of my project. My project of course would not complete within a day or day two, right? So I'll be running my project probably for 5 months. Then after every 15 days, generally I have to report my progress, whether I have completed my project 10%, 20%, maybe 25%, 30%, all that progress is to be given, it should be reported in a meeting. And again, if there is some error in your project, of course you have to define. All right, so this channel goes on. Right, and sometimes customer requirements also keeps on changing. So this is a cyclic form, all right, and we usually refer this as a business process cycle. All right, I would conclude with this particular, and later on maybe in the next lecture we will see what is more on SPM, what is risk management, all right, and we will even see what is XP. XP is something very interesting. So with this we conclude our 1.4, and here I stop with an understanding of what is software project, what is software, what is project management, all right, and a business process cycle. In the next lecture we would see what is risk management, what are its associated advantages, disadvantages, what are other waterfall model, what is prototype models, what are software project models, all right. And then next we would be seeing is XP. We call it as extreme programming, one of the most important subject, a topic rather. Thank you. स्वाध्यायः परमं तप